The emerging crisis of obtaining helium in India. Every year, India imports helium worth 55,000 crore rupees from the US. Helium is colorless, odorless, tasteless, inert and a noble gas. Yet, it finds many applications, mainly in magnetic resonance imaging (MRI) scans, in rockets and in nuclear reactors. India imports helium for its needs, and with the US appearing set to cut off exports of helium since 2021, Indian industry stands to lose out heavily. What is the solution? Can India become self-reliant towards its needs of helium gas? Helium on Earth. Dutch physicist Camerlingons liquefied helium by cooling the gas to -270 degrees Celsius. It is known that Camerlingons collected helium gas from the springs of Bath in Baden-Baden, Germany for his liquefaction experiment. Some scientists and geologists started looking for helium underground. They guessed it may be present there by analyzing debris from volcanic eruptions. From the oil drilling operation in Dexter, Kansas, in the U.S., chemists Hamilton Cady and David McFarland discovered the presence of helium in natural gas. They further went on to discover that despite its overall rarity, helium was concentrated in large quantities under the American Great Plains. The U.S. became the most important exporter of helium across the world. It was soon realized that US was also the biggest storehouse of helium. The US, now, is planning to switch off export of helium from 2021. Qatar is a possible exporter, but acute political and diplomatic wrangles have made Qatar unreliable. Every year, India imports helium worth 55,000 crore rupees from the US to meet its needs. Around 1956, as Vice-Chancellor of Viswabharati University, Professor Sachendranath Bose once visited a village called Bakreza, near Santiniketan, where he found water boiling naturally in a small tank. Sachin Bose was keen to analyze the natural gas that came out of the tank. Sachin Bose asked his student Shyamadas Chatterjee to look into this. What Shyamadas Chatterjee found out was stunning. 1.8% of the natural gas emanating from the boiling water was helium. After further experiments, this result was established. Shyamadas Chatterjee's hunch was that the area called Rajmahal volcanic basin around Bakreza and nearby Tandloi, now in Jharkhand, were floating on an ocean of helium. He and his student Debasis Ghose started exploring Tandloi, which is populated by tribal people. The village is situated next to a stream, with naturally hot water with natural gas emanating from it. Preliminary investigations of the stream indicated there was around 1.6% of helium in the emanating gas, a little less than that in Bakreza. This was around 1965–66. Emerging project. Homi Sethna, then the chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, arranged for the project to be part of the newly started Variable Energy Cyclotron Center (VECC) project of Kolkata. When I came over to Kolkata around 1984 to VECC from BARC, Bombay, the helium project did not show much activity. The adventure of it all attracted me. I persuaded Dr. Devasha, then the director of VECC, to take a trip to Bakreza along with Professor Chatterjee and Dr. Ghose. It should be mentioned that Bhavar Atomic Research Center, under the leadership of R.K. Garg, head of the Chemical and Engineering Division, in the 1970s made an effort to extract helium from monazite sand. Unfortunately, this project was doomed, and BARC did not push it any further. When we took over the project in late 1980s, we got very busy with other research and development projects. We all thought collection of helium on a large scale is a semi-commercial operation and nothing very much to do with research or development. Besides which, we just did not have the adequate manpower. So, this vast reservoir of helium in the Rajmahal volcanic belt remained untapped. Scientific fraternity. Extracting helium on a large scale did not seem to be of great importance to our scientific fraternity. After I stepped down from my official job in 2009, the possibility of helium extraction looked even more bleak. Then, I found a very understanding and enthusiastic person in the present chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, Dr. N. Vyas, who readily agreed to give the project a push with all the might of the Department of Atomic Energy. Work has started in right earnest in collaboration with Atomic Mineral Division of DE. Preliminary measurements and survey have already started. Our target is to at least meet India's requirement of helium. India consumes about 70 million cubic meters per year. But the reserve of helium by far exceeds this. So, this effort, although somewhat late, is not too late yet. India's Rajmahal volcanic basin is the storehouse of helium trapped for billions years, since the very birth of our Earth from the Sun. At present, we are mapping the Rajmahal basin extensively for future exploration and harnessing of helium. In conclusion, helium is not just for balance, but it is the key ingredient for India's high technology and the most sophisticated medical diagnosis. Dr. Bikash Sinha is an INSA senior scientist and former director of Sahar Institute of Nuclear Physics and Variable Energy Cyclotron Center, Kolkata.